channeled tarot and oracle reading is going to be channeling the energy of Nancy Guthrie. Nancy Guthrie is the missing 84-year-old mother of the Today anchor Savannah Guthrie. So this is a well-known case, and it's ongoing. It's something that has been going on for a long time. Nancy Guthrie has been missing for far too long, and we have absolutely no information, no new information or movement coming out regarding this case, at least not us, the public. So I also find it strange that I saw that Nancy Guthrie's daughter, Annie, and her husband, Tommaso Cioni, have both been cleared as suspects. So I went to Google and I asked, why were Annie and Tommaso cleared in the investigation? It says that Annie Guthrie and Tommaso Cioni were cleared as suspects in the investigation into Nancy Guthrie's disappearance because they fully cooperated with the law enforcement, and their statements matched evidence collected, according to reports. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos declared the couple victims of speculative, unverified reports and noted they were ruled out shortly after the investigation began. So they were cleared simply because they were cooperative. It also says the couple was deemed 100% cooperative, allowing consent searches of their property, which indicated to investigators that they were not involved. So just because they were able to search, investigators were like, they weren't involved. Now, law enforcement likely matched digital evidence like cell phone data. Now, this is only speculative because we don't know that for sure. But they likely matched the digital evidence and statements from Annie and Tommaso to ensure their accounts were aligned, which should be standard procedure, right? Also, reports indicate that DNA evidence recovered from a glove near the home did not match any family members. And there is no probable cause. Law enforcement did not establish probable cause to warrant an involuntary search or suspect designation. But, in my opinion, simply the fact that Annie and Tommaso were the last known people to be in the presence of Nancy Guthrie, that alone should be enough to at least speculate that it is possible that these two are suspects. But we don't have the luxury of having them as suspects if they have been cleared. They've been ruled out. So with the investigation status, it says, while they were cleared as suspects, officials did not officially rule out anyone, keeping the investigation open. Oh, okay, so they're sending us, the public, very mixed signals. Some scrutiny remained because Tommaso Cioni was among the last to see Nancy on February 1st, and their car was briefly part of ongoing investigations, causing continued, yet cleared, public speculations. So, in today's reading, I decided it's time to just channel the energy of Nancy Guthrie. In the first Nancy Guthrie tarot and oracle reading, I did not channel Nancy. I was simply channeling into the energy of what happened to her. And in that reading, what stands out the most is that cell phone records could be leading to more clues, that inside of the crime scene should be more evidence, so in Nancy's home. And we found out that it's possible that there was some type of rivalry going on behind the scenes that could have led to what has taken place. We also got some possible clues of poisoning, or some type of poisoning, whether that is actual poisoning or more of a poisoning of the thinking, creating ignorance in someone else by giving them wrong information. Either way, there was some kind of indication of some type of poisoning, whether mental, emotional, or an actual physical poisoning. In that first Nancy Guthrie tarot reading, I also speculated that it is possible that this disappearance was some type of inside job. So I want to just kind of release everything we know right now. And I just want to be a clear channel for the energy of Nancy Guthrie herself to come through so that she can tell us what has happened. So, I ask that the highest vibrations of light and love connect to my highest self and release all previous programming and unwanted energies so that I can be a clear channel for the energy of Nancy Guthrie to come through. So when I light this candle, I will be a channel for the energy of Nancy Guthrie. And while this candle is lit, I will be a channel for her energy to come through and use me along with the tarot and oracle cards to tell her story of what really happened to her that caused her to disappear in such a way. What has happened to Nancy Guthrie is what we want to know. So I asked Nancy Guthrie to come through and let me be a channel for the energy. So Nancy Guthrie, I am now a channel for your energy. And thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here and for telling your story. Okay. And I have my image of Nancy over here in case I feel the need to gaze upon it. I'm going to start by shuffling the Murder Mystery deck 3 times. Cut the deck, and I'm going to draw a card. And I will repeat that process for 3 cards to start this. So Nancy, I want you to tell us more about the case into your disappearance. Tell us more about your disappearance and what happened to you. All right, one more shuffle. Then I'm going to cut the deck and draw the first card. The crime may be solved by DNA testing or other scientific methods. So it is possible that some of the DNA they're collecting is going to lead to something. All right. Okay, Nancy Guthrie, what else can you tell us about the case of your disappearance? Killer had an argument or disagreement with the victim. Interesting. Again, it's that energy of rivalry. Look at the image. Again, that energy is coming up already. All right, Nancy, I'm going to pull one more. So what else can you tell us about the case into the investigation of your disappearance? Dating history or killer knew of victim. So someone very close. When it says dating history, I have no idea about the dating history of Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old woman. But it also says, or killer knew of the victim. So whether it was a casual acquaintance or someone even closer, I do feel like this could have possibly been, again, an inside job. I feel like it is definitely a possibility, and I feel like all of the suspects should still be open suspects. I feel like there should be no one cleared in this investigation until we find what happened to Nancy. All right, so because I kind of like, you know, I really want to look deeper into these suspects. So now I'm going to shuffle the Rider-Waite deck. We're going to ask Nancy Guthrie, what was the energy of Tommaso Cioni on the night of your disappearance? Because he is the one that gave her a ride home. So, Nancy, tell us, what was the energy of Tommaso Cioni on the night of your disappearance? One more shuffle and then I'm cutting the deck. We have Knight of Swords reversed. I feel like there's something he wanted to say. With the Knight of Swords reversed, I feel like there was something he wanted to come out and say, but he didn't say it. We have the Star reversed. Yeah. Oops, there's nudity on this card. So, the Star card is like being the center of attention. It is like being aware of your power in the room. And with this being reversed, again, I feel like he wanted to express something that night, but he didn't. And we have the Death reversed. I think that whatever he was going to say could have been some type of cause of some kind of transformation. All right, but I feel like that was avoided for some reason. So Tommaso has something he wanted to say. I'm going to get a little clarity. All right, Nancy Guthrie, now I'm shuffling the Deviant Moon deck 3 times. I'm going to cut the deck and draw 3 cards for clarity on the energy of Tommaso Cioni regarding your disappearance. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups. Oh, so we get the Death card again, but this time it was also reversed. So we get the Death card reversed in both decks. Okay, and then we have the Three of Cups. Okay, now, with the Death card being reversed in both instances, I do feel like it's possible that, yeah, Nancy made it home when she was with Tommaso. The Death cards are reversed, even though the Death card is symbolic of more than just physical death, right? I'm just getting this energy that it is possible that, yes, there is something more, though, that Tommaso wants to say, that he wants to rush in and express, but it's like he is not the main character here. But then we get the Two of Cups. I feel like he's being directed and guided by Annie, his lover. All right, we have the Death card reversed again, and then we have the Three of Cups. So when I looked at the Three of Cups right away, I saw Annie, Tommaso, and then the man in a mask, which would represent the man on the front porch. I think that the energy of Tommaso is he did give her the ride home. He had a lot to say, but didn't say any of it. And I feel like a lot of what he's doing is based on what Annie wants. Because if you look, there's this little, I don't really know what it is, a ribbon or something, that's coming off of the man and it's tied to the woman's ankle. So I just feel like he moves in sync with Annie, whatever Annie wanted here. And it is Annie's family after all. Okay, so now that we have those cards laid out, Nancy, now I want to shuffle the Rider-Waite deck again. This time I want to get 3 cards, 3 more cards, and these are going to be connecting to the energy of Annie Guthrie, which is Nancy Guthrie's mother. Or Nancy Guthrie's daughter, Annie. All right, Nancy. One more shuffle, then I'll cut the deck and draw 3 cards. This is for Annie Guthrie's energy surrounding your disappearance. Strength. We have the Nine of Cups. And we have the Empress reversed. Okay. Regarding Nancy's disappearance, she has strength in this moment. It's almost like this is something that she's using her will to express in a certain way. Because this woman is taming that lion, right? That habitual thought. Now, with the Nine of Cups, this is a strange energy for this because I feel like with the Strength card, this is something that Annie isn't necessarily upset about. But wait, did you guys see that video of Savannah, Annie, and Tommaso visiting the front yard memorial for Nancy Guthrie 30 days after she had been missing? So 30 days after she's missing, and this is what Annie was acting like. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of that, because in my opinion, 30 days into this, and she's acting like she can't walk right without support. She is wailing. She is just unable to contain herself. But it makes me wonder if this is kind of like her acting a certain way, because she doesn't actually feel that way about it. And we have the Empress reverse for Annie as well. I feel like while she tries to be abundant and creative, she just can't. I don't know if, like, with the Empress being reversed here, I'm just feeling like she feels like she can't create her own abundance. That's the energy I'm getting. It's almost like Annie wants more abundance and she wants to be fruitful in her endeavors, but it's like she's not really able to create that as much. She's more into just following her desires, more so than creating something sustainable, if that makes sense. Which, I know it seems abstract what we're getting here, right? All right, I'm going to shuffle the Deviant Moon. We'll get 3 cards for clarity regarding Annie's energy. All right, Nancy. Tell me, what else can you tell me about your daughter Annie regarding your disappearance? Annie's energy. Yeah, we have 8 of Pentacles reversed. I feel like she doesn't like to work hard. We have the Devil reversed as well. And then we have the Justice card. Okay. So I do feel like Interesting. I just get this feeling like there's some kind of lack of attention to detail going on. Now, with this devil card being reversed, I don't know if she or someone in her life was maybe addicted to something or going through some kind of trouble in that way. But then we have the Justice card next to that. I just feel like the imagery is so dark, though. Half of the Justice's face is a dark moon. All right? So I'm feeling like there is some kind of sense of justice when it comes to maybe the house. I'm looking at all the keys on the robe, and then there's a little keyhole on this wall back here, and it looks like it's a house. It's possibly some kind of like palace or something. Yeah, this is weird energy. So let's go ahead and just shuffle. All right, Nancy, I'm going to go ahead and dive a little deeper into these two suspects. Give us more information. What was their part in what happened? We got the beach. This is like a, what do you call it? A portal. The beach is like a line, you know, between water and land. So it's almost like that in-between place, right? What about the beach? We just got the rival card once again. And man-made disaster. All right, so we got desert and egotism. Egotism can be the downfall of many, unfortunately. All right, what about desert, egotism? All right, so we got predictive programming, watch. Interesting. This is very interesting to me. Predictive programming and watch. This tells me that someone is assuming something was going to happen, and then they were just like watching and waiting for it to happen. Does that make sense? Predictive programming, it's possible someone was told that something was going to happen, and then they watch and wait for it to happen. You know what's weird is that I feel like that I heard the kids, Savannah, Annie, and the brother, they used to play this game that they would like kidnap their mom or something like that. And is that a form of predictive programming? I don't know. This is just very strange. Very strange. And if you remember in the first reading, I said that this is kind of like scrambled eggs. It's hard to read psychically. All right? Nancy, what else can you tell us about what happened to you? Okay. Power supply. Secret. Hiding out / retired. And honest politician. Okay, you guys, bear with me. I'm wondering if it's about what someone might know regarding the secret power supply of the elites, if you know what I mean. The Epstein type stuff. So anyway, it is possible that this whole disappearance had to do with hiding. Trying to find someone who can actually help, and it's such a weird situation. This is very far-fetched, I know. So what do you guys think these mean? Also, hiding out / retired with honest politician. And this is Abraham Lincoln. So it's like Abraham Lincoln was just shot while he was out and about. So I'm wondering if Nancy is still alive and she is just hiding so that nothing would happen to her. Now, I also wonder if it's like a secret power supply that this is even going on. The predictive programming in the watch. This is about egotism in the desert. I don't know. This is really strange, you guys. Nancy, what else can we know about your disappearance? We got terrorism and truth comes out. You guys, honestly, with truth comes out, there's the guy, he's like crossing his fingers behind his back. Like, he's giving Scout's honor to whoever's in front of him, but behind his back, he has his crossed fingers. So it's like canceling out whatever truth he's telling, right? And in the terrorism card, this guy's wearing a mask. He's not showing his true self. A terrorist is someone who will terrorize people on a large scale. Do you see how this is kind of going into that thing I was talking about with the predictive programming, the secret power supply? It's a form of terrorism, if that's the case. To have everybody watching this. Nancy Guthrie, what else can we know about your case? Whoa, about what happened to you. We got toxic food / food shortage and lost. I'm not 100% sure, but we might have gotten the lost card in that first Nancy Guthrie reading. But we definitely got like a poisoning energy. And look at this. Toxic food / food shortage. And lost. I'm wondering if anyone knows what was served at this meal that was shared at Annie and Tommaso's house. And that food is now lost. That evidence would now be lost, I'm sure. Right? Nancy, what else can you tell us? Whoa. That was 5, so we can get those. Okay, you guys. We have Ancient Mystery, Child, Deep State, Secret Society, Success. You guys, this is all very strange. I feel like it's a big fat lie in some way. Like, Nancy Guthrie might actually be missing, but there's something strange about the predictive programming behind all of this. There's something strange about when I get Ancient Mystery and Child, along with Deep State and Secret Society, it's almost like all of this, it's basically this mind control for power that has been going on. Literally, it's an ancient mystery. It's been going on for all of time. Humanity is programmed even to see it happening before their eyes, but to not believe it. Because we have the success here as well. You guys, there's something fishy going on with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. I think the entire family's acting a little weird. At first, I felt so badly for all of them, of course. Now, just because they're acting strangely, that doesn't mean that they had anything to do with the actual disappearance. But I do just get a very strange, weird vibe off of the whole thing. The whole disappearance. So, Nancy Guthrie, is there anything else you can tell us about your disappearance or what happened to you? Whoa, what are these flipped over for? We got humanoid dismemberment, nuclear, and secret space program. But they didn't actually fall out. They were just flipped over in the deck. So I'm noting these, but putting them back. I believe we got that dismemberment card in the first reading as well, you guys. But this secret space program, definitely all about saying it's about one thing, but really it's about another. You know, this is all about just getting little pieces, but not the full picture. All right. And the humanoid card, I always feel, is kind of like programming, mind control, because it looks like the human, but it's a humanoid with this like computer looking background. So it makes me think of like programming a human in some way, right? Let's go ahead and put these back in here. All right, Nancy Guthrie, is there anything else we can know? Okay, we have digital evidence and crimes against humanity. So there it is again. We have another point at the digital evidence being a possibility that there might be evidence digitally on phones. Oh, that was too many. All right. Nancy Guthrie, is there anything else you want to say about this case? Whoa, whoa, whoa. That was like too many falling out, flipping over. This is weird. I'm fumbling cards, so I think that is about all we can have right now because of the way it's going. We could always tap into Nancy's energy once again in the future and see if it'll go in another direction. But for now, what we have is that there's definitely something strange going on here. And with that egotism and desert, and that came right before predictive programming and watch. So I do feel like they're putting out this particular story, but they know everybody's watching, okay? Now, there is a secret power supply involved here in some way. And even when we think the truth is coming out, it's not really the truth. Not at this time. I feel like with that coming out with the terrorism card, it's like large-scale lying, basically, is what this is. Now, again, we got the kind of hints toward like possible poisoning or some kind of food problem, maybe toxic food. But all in all, it could be that there's some type of evidence against I don't know if there's evidence of some type of crime against humanity that could be known somehow through Nancy, or if Nancy's like a pawn that they're playing to keep this information hidden, if that makes sense. It's very convoluted. But I would love to know what you guys think about this. But for now, it is time to send Nancy Guthrie back to the energy from where she came. So, Nancy Guthrie, thank you so much for being here and for giving us a little more insight into what has happened to you. And now I'm going to blow out this candle, and I will no longer be a channel for your energy to come through. So now, Nancy Guthrie, please return to the energy from where you came. Thank you so much for being here. I love you.